awesome.
Awesome.
That was awesome.
You guys are awesome.
No.
You're awesome.
No.
You are awesome.
Sir, you are awesome. Seriously.
Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Welcome to this week's edition of Everything is Awesome. I am your host, Kev, and this is the show where we sit down and talk to awesome people about awesome things. And this is our 50th time doing it. I cannot believe we made it to 50 episodes, guys. This is a huge, huge milestone. I've said this a lot recently, and I don't know why, but I've said it a lot recently, and that's out of all the podcasts that start, maybe 50% of them reach 10 episodes. And out of those podcasts, you know, another 50% maybe reach 50 episodes. And you can look at my own personal podcasting history over the last 10 years to see that. I've hosted and created up to, I think about 13 shows in the last almost 10 years now. And out of all of them, I can count on, let's see, I think like maybe 4 or 5 have made 50 episodes. So not a huge percentage, a little less than 50%. So podcasting, as fun as it is a lot of work, and that's what most people don't realize going into it. And I think that's why we see such a drop-off. So it is such a huge moment to be hitting 50 episodes. Typically, this is almost, if you're a weekly podcast, you know, that's right before your 1-year anniversary. So we're going to be celebrating a couple things in the next couple weeks, including right now, episode 50, and in a couple weeks, we're going to be celebrating a 1-year anniversary. Before we bring our guest on, I want to talk about that. Make sure you go to bday.awesomepodcast.com. We are going to be celebrating in a big bad way with the help of A Quest for Magic and Steel, 25 O'Clock Pod, Full Belly Laughs, and Party of One podcast. We're all getting together to celebrate Everything is Awesome's first birthday, first podiversary in the first Everything is Awesome podiversary show at Tattooed Moms, January 29th from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. 5 shows, each an hour long, free for nothing, free funny, is going to be happening at Tattooed Moms on South Street. They were so happy to have us back. We were there for the Philadelphia Podcast Festival. It's going to be such a time. Big thanks to our sponsors, Tattooed Moms, Bridge Set Sound, Fireball Printing, Tellist, Spearman, and brand new sponsor that just got booked on as a sponsor just the other day, Zencastr. For those of you that are into podcasting and want to record short amounts of audio, Spearman has you covered. Spearman's also great for having say you have a phone meeting and you want to record it. Well, this is the best way to record it is through Spearman. But for podcasters that need to do something long form like this show, I use Zencastr on a weekly basis usually, and it is for long form interview podcasts. So short form interview and on the go interviews, Spearman's got you covered. For something that's going to be a little bit more studio oriented, because that's where I use Zencastr. You can only use it in studio. You got Zencastr. Zencastr is a great tool for remote podcasters who have guests that are never in studio. Has if you play online D&D games, I believe Jeff uses it for Party of One. Zencastr's got you covered. So a lot of great sponsors, and they all offer great services. 2 that are really helpful for podcasters are Spearman and Zencastr. So happy to have them on board as sponsors. All right, this week, episode 50. I've been talking about it for a while. And we were going to have the Mighty Thor on. And I guess the Raven I sent got lost because I never got back a response about when, yes, I can make it tonight to record this interview from Thor. I've been in contact with him since, and I think we are going to try to reschedule that interview. However, episode 50 still needed to be big in a way. And I was like, how can I make this a celebration? What guest can I get on? Well, I was thinking back of some of the epic moments. You know, the live show, the very first live show, Aaron McGathy. And then one came to mind. And I don't know how he's sitting next to me. We'll see how he feels about being back on. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the show, subbing in for Thor, the one, the only protector of Gotham. I guess not the only protector of Gotham, but the one and only, the Batman. That's right. I'm back. Kev, you came crawling back when you thought you were done with me. You needed me, just like Gotham needs me. Well, Batman, I'd say that I've recently re-listened to that episode that you were on, and you left, slammed the door, and ran off during our conversation. I really wasn't, like, I didn't kick you out of the interview. Kev, it doesn't matter, okay? If Batman says you came crawling back, I think the world agrees that you came crawling. You think the Batman is gonna come crawling back to you? Please, Kev. I have a whole city to protect and worry about. What do? You sit here on your phone. By the way, not a better studio. You still have me in your shitty car, Kev. What you talk about this studio you have? I've yet to be there. Why do we do interviews? This is a weird kinky fetish you have that we do interviews in your car. You sit in a car with a superhero. Does that get you off? Batman, that's a weird personal, but weird question. Apologize. It's just that, you know, you're busy fighting crime at night when I sit down and record my interviews in studio. So, the only time we could meet up was during the day. I understand that it costs a lot of money for Mr. Wayne to send you out here, on his private jet. You know, I get it. But I'm glad that you came back. I think we're going to take the approach that Steve from Saturday Detention Podcast takes, and that's, you know, we're going to ignore the fact that there was a Superman movie or movies, and not talk about that again. I know that wasn't, a big issue. I think the issue that you ran off on, no? Kev, if we talk about that Zack Snyder douche one more time, I swear to you, I will throw your ass in Arkham with all the other freaks, okay? Because I can't deal with it, and I will take that as Joker, as Trumpster level evil, okay? All right. We're not gonna bring it up again. So it's been 25 episodes since we had you on. It's been almost 6 months since we had you on this show. Just under 6 months ago, we had you on this show. What have you been doing with your life? What has the Bat been doing in Gotham City? What have I been doing? You clearly don't understand the life of a crime fighter, of a vigilante, of my kind of service I offer to the city. Okay, sure, things have been a little slow because, well, let's be honest, most of Gotham villains have been appointed to Trump's cabinet. So they have been legitimized to some fashion. So, I've been, I've lent out my likeness to those fine folks at Telltale, and they've put out a fine, interactive, choose your own adventure style game. Have you played their Walking Dead game, Kev? Yes, actually I have. I'm a huge fan of it. Then you're gonna love this. It's like that, but with Batman. So it's even better, if you take anything and put Batman, I said we weren't gonna talk about it, and Kev, I swear to God, if you comment on this, I will punch you right in the face. But you take a movie as shitty as a Zack Snyder Man of Steel movie, and you add Ben Affleck as Batman into Batman's the key operative word here. You add the Batman to a shitty Zack Snyder movie, and it gets that much better, okay? So you take a game like The Walking Dead that's awesome to begin with, and you make one in the style of Batman, you have award-winning game potential, Kev. Wow, I'm really excited about this. I saw it while I was perusing the Telltale catalog, and I said, Batman game, I need to play this. This seems like it'd be pretty awesome. So I do plan on picking it up. Maybe you can score us a review copy so that we can play it and talk about it on the show. Kev, we don't have that kind of relationship. We have the kind of relationship where if I wanted to take a swing at you, I would, okay? We don't have the kind of relationship where you can sit here and request free swag from me, okay? I'll take free swag. Like that Eagles hat, it's no Gotham Rogues, but if I wanted to take that Eagles hat of yours, I'd take it. And you would willingly let me take it. But I am in a position. You are not in a position to take or ask from me. I am in a position to give if I wanted to. But let's be honest, you're not like that Chris Revel character from Let's Chat on the Core Temp Arts Podcast Network. Hey, whoa, hey, you don't think we're as worthy? I know that Chris is a better interviewer, a better conversationalist than I am. Who isn't? But we're on Core Temps. This is the debut episode of us being on Core Temp Arts, coretemparts.com. We joined the likes of Chris Revel and the likes of TV8 My Brain and those shows. So, we're on that level. Maybe we could score that review copy now. Kev, you're this close to getting punched in the face. All right. We'll drop it. So, we last time we spoke, we were living in a world where no one thought that one day one of the most powerful nations, the most powerful nation in the world, the United States of America, was going to be ruled by how can I put this? A floppy-haired munchkin, a pumpkin, if you will, a reality TV star. Now we live in a world where we are really close to the end of Obama's rule, and going into really scary unknown territory. What are your thoughts? Are you a political person, Batman? First of all, Kev, when you address me, it's the Batman, okay? Secondly, no, I'm not a huge political person. But have you heard one of his latest tweets? I guess you don't hear a tweet. But I heard a clip of it. Maybe he went on the news station. Can you play that clip right now, Kev? Can your little pea-sized brain manage that? Yeah. I think this is the clip you're talking about. Well, I get future Kev. Hit play.
Happy New Year to all, including to my many enemies, and those who have fought me and lost so badly, they just don't know what to do. Love.
Yeah, so that was that. So what was your point, Batman? I'm just saying, when the president-elect says something that is along the lines of something that one of my biggest rogues, the Joker, would say, and I mean, you listen to that clip of the Joker reading that tweet, and it is downright something out of one of the animated series Batman shows. It's something you would picture him saying or reading in one of the fine Scott Snyder Batman books, So when you hear the president-elect say that, it's a little scary. But you know what? I think it's something that as Americans, we have to sit down and say, this is our reality, okay? This is our reality. This is our future. We have this for the next 4 years, and if we're not careful, the next 8 years. And I think one of the biggest problems, I was listening to one of the greatest film review podcasts of our time. I was listening to I Like to Movie. Hey, yeah, my buddy Garrett and his friend Dan host that. Kev, I don't care who you know, okay? I care that you cut me off. I apologize, Batman. So I was listening to their podcast. It was their year in review episode, I believe. And they talked about communication as being a focal point in this year, or in this past year, in 2016. And they made some very honest points, very good points that, as liberals, maybe we did not communicate with the conservatives. We allowed Trump to win by saying, well, if you vote for Trump, you're a racist. And that's not true. I'm sure you know people who voted for Trump yourself, Kevin. And, I do as well. I know people that voted for Trump. And I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, that I don't think they hate anyone of a certain color or sect of that's not white America. I would say that we did not open up a form of communication to say, well, here's why your guy is not great. Here's how he's tearing down America. And I think maybe we need to have, in the next 4 years, more conversation and less back and forth about, well, your guy is this, your guy is that, your guy is a liar, your guy is a racist, your guy wants to build a wall, whatever it may be, because neither candidate was a great choice. And actually, to be honest, that's, I think, part of the problem. I said it right there. I said neither candidate. There was more than 2 candidates. You're absolutely right, Batman. I've had a couple conversations with people, and I think that there were other people, Jill Stein, and I forget the other name that it's escaping me, but they were on other party tickets. They were third parties, and they don't get enough light shown on them. So, and I think people need to take them more seriously. Like, it's fine. I get it if you don't support Hillary, but I don't think that means, or if you don't support Trump, I don't think if you don't support one of the big 2 nominees, you shouldn't use that as your reasoning to vote for the other person. Like, there is another option. I know people have issue with that because, like, well, that took away votes from, say, Hillary, or that took away votes from Trump or whatever. It didn't. It took away votes from Hillary, let's be honest. But that's because not enough people are of that mindset. Not enough people are listening. And I think maybe one of the big things is we are getting to a point where media, the other parties weren't represented at the debates. I think we're getting into a world where maybe we need to look outside of television and look at new media as a place to go and campaign. You know what, Kev? For once, I kind of agree with you. In fact, I do agree with you. You do? Kev, don't let it get to your head. But yeah, absolutely, I agree with you. I wouldn't be doing this podcast if I didn't believe in new media. And I get it. Other guys that are more respectable than you, like Mark Maron and like Chris Revel, they can't have a comic book character, even though I am in a flesh and blood human being. I am the Batman. I am here. I am real. They can't have me associated with their serious shows. So that's why I have to come to shows like yours, okay? However, new media, those guys can get some of those president nominees or those presidents campaigners that want to be presidents. They should have them on those podcasts, YouTube, Netflix, even like Netflix, like more so than YouTube. Netflix, a lot of people watch Netflix. Okay, why not have your debates there, and have all your candidates involved? You don't have to worry about being limited to time that network television limits you to, But you know what, Kev? This conversation's gotten way too serious. So let me ask you this. What have you been working on for the last 6 months, huh? It certainly hasn't been getting a new studio because you're still doing it in your car. How have you improved your life? How have you improved your podcast? And my passion is fighting crime. How have you, improved your passion? I think that's quite easy, obviously, this is the debut episode on Core Temp Arts, So we've joined a podcast network. This is a debut episode. This is our 50th episode. We've obviously made it this far. We are putting together our very own podiversary event because we're hitting our first year. I already talked about it. We're growing our audience, and I think 2017 looks like a good year. We lost a lot of great people in 2016. Pop culture wise, it was a shitty year. I would say overall for me personally, the year was fine. Like I hit a lot of good things. And the only thing that really kind of taints the year, and taints it in a big bad way is when I lost my uncle to his battle of cancer. So 2017 is looking up, I guess. First of all, Kev, I'll stop being a little wacky here, and I will say my condolences to you and your family. Despite me, putting on a little bit more character than I normally do, by belittling you and whatnot. I am a fan of your show. I do listen on a regular basis, and I have followed along on your journey. And I do want to apologize. I know how much he meant to you, and whatnot. And my thoughts and prayers have been with you and your family, since you've been sharing that information with us. Thanks, Batman. That actually means a whole lot to me. But yeah, so what's your take on the loss of so many great icons in 2016? Prince, David Bowie, Carrie Fisher obviously was one of the most recent ones. Debbie Reynolds, George Michael, and that's there's a lot more. I'm just kind of skimming the big ones that came to mind. What are your thoughts on that? Like, did any of those deaths affect you? Like, I know you may not have known them, but celebrities touch people in a big bad way. Well, Kev, I gotta tell you, it was a tough year. I span a long time. Some may say I'm ageless. But I, losing some of those greats affected me in a big bad way. It's a lot of people say, well, Batman, you've been along longer than Star Wars. So Carrie Fisher, is just one of many people you've seen pass, and that's as true as that is. She is one of the first powerful, take your own action, don't hold back female heroes we've seen on the big screen. And if I'm being honest, she's one of my first crushes, celebrity crushes, and it was heartbreaking to lose Miss Fisher. I never got the opportunity to meet her. But I've watched her work. From Star Wars, to Star Wars, if I'm being honest. I've only watched her in Star Wars movies. But, you know, she was a wonderful actress, and I've read her books. They're phenomenal books. She's funny, and she's a soul that's truly going to be missed from this world. To say I cried would be a lie, because, well, I'm the Batman. I don't cry. But to say that my life feels like there's a hole in it now. Not one as big as, say, Bruce Wayne's hole in his heart from losing his parents, but close to that, we'll say. You know, it's just devastating. Devastating. You know, Prince and David Bowie. Oh God, such a fan. I can't believe the loss that we had in 2016. So it's very, thank God, we didn't lose some other greats. Adam West. Oh my gosh, when I started hearing about the people who have been on the Batman 66 show, starting to die, I was like, oh God, no, please, 2016, don't take the first guy who portrayed me in a way that made me laugh, made me smile. Yeah, I know, it's been a tough year. And it's been an awful year. I think many people can say that it's good to be in 2017 now. We can take 2016 and look behind us and whatnot, and not worry about the election. Like, we still have to worry about maybe, some things that the president-elect's going to do, but, we kind of have to, the best way to fight that is by loving more, love trumps hate. And you know what, we as a country have hit, worse, years. We've had worse years. We've had worse, things happen to our country. And we bounce back. I think that's the one thing about America we can say is we'll always bounce back. So, and obviously it was a bad year for pop culture. A lot. It was a tough year for a lot of people. Tough year. More so for personal reasons for me. But as I already said. But 2017 is looking up. I think. I think we're doing good so far. We're only a couple days in, but I'm really excited for 2017. I feel like it's a good year. I'm excited to see, you back on the big screen with Justice League. I'm excited to see, hopefully see Ben Affleck get a script now down for your solo return. We're not going to mention that Justice League movie quite yet because, well, you know who is involved in directing it. However, I hope that Ben Affleck steps up and gets a script that he likes. Because to see a movie about me, starring Ben Affleck, directed by Ben Affleck, the guy who directed Argo, I need to see that movie. 2017 is looking better. Obviously, as far as Gotham's concerned, I may have an easier time, but I may have to relocate temporarily for the next few years to Washington, D.C., because, like I said, we have a lot of the Arkham inmates being recruited to the cabinets. They are really running the show now. I'm looking forward to this year. I'm even looking forward to your show. You know what? Last time I was on this show, I ended it by slamming the door and name calling you and running off into the sunset. Here's how I want to end the interview for you, Kev. I am really looking forward to what you have to offer. Not only the Super Friends, which, by the way, I don't know who gave you the right to steal that, okay? That was our thing, okay? That was my thing before it was your thing. You're a thief, Kev. In fact, you know what? I rescind it. You are an awful human being. You are awful. You are a thief. You deserve to be locked. If I could lock you up for stealing my term, Super Friends, I would, okay? And anyone listening to this, I will personally hunt you down if you accept his terms of Super Friends. It is not sanctioned by the Batman. It is not sanctioned by the Boy Scouts. Okay? It is not sanctioned by Wonder Woman. Okay? We do not sanction the use of your fan base being called Super Friends. Whoa, Bat. Okay, I apologize. But I did talk to the Boy Scout. I did send him an email and say, hey, I wanted to name my audience something fun and whatnot, and kind of funny, calls their people best friends, and Erin McGathy calls her people, her listeners, the McFeelies, I wanted something catchy, and I didn't, I couldn't think of anything that went with the everything is awesome type of feel. So, being such a huge fan of comic books and whatnot, I thought maybe using Super Friends would be a fun way to honor that. And I contacted the Boy Scout, and he gave me he okayed it. It's cool, man. Okay, well, the Boy Scout didn't run it by me, and that still angers me, so I'll deal with him. But Kev, look at me in the eyes, Kev. I swear, you are one step away from crossing a line you do not want to cross. Okay? So I suggest that next time you try to get Thor on your show, which, by the way, you didn't say thank you to me in any email correspondence when I said, no problem, I will step in for that quote-unquote God of Thunder, that pretty boy Thor. You didn't say thank you for that. Next time he bails on you, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about the fact that now you've had me on 2 episodes and you've pissed me off. So I say this. I say good day. Okay, you little piece of Okay, well, I can't believe that we managed to anger Batman twice and I didn't get a black eye for it. So that was our Batman interview. Wow. Well, thank you to Batman for coming in on very short notice, because we couldn't I get the Raven confusion. I think the Raven, what I think happened? I think Elmer Fudd shot the Raven, on his hunting trip before, he confused it with a duck or something, and it didn't get to Thor. So we're going to figure something out and get Thor on the show, after the new year. We are in the new year. After the new Everything is Awesome year. Sometime in our next 50 episodes, we will get him on an episode. But I know this is a short one this week, and that's because of all the I had to wait for Batman to get to town. I had to meet him and whatnot, and episode. I hope you all enjoyed episode 50. Is what I'm trying to say. I had a lot of fun with it. It was a good time sitting down and chatting with the Batman, one of my heroes, despite the fact that he clearly wants to punch me in the face, and whatnot. But hopefully for another milestone episode, or even not a milestone episode, we will get Thor on, and hopefully we have Batman on again. We'll get Batman on again, and we'll have him on to hopefully mend the fences, if you will, mend the relationship that the Batman and I clearly have a very shaky, turbulent relationship. We'll mend that in the next one. Thank you for listening to the show. Here's how you can help this show out. We're about to hit 1 year. And I want to do bigger and cooler things in year 2. And here are some, I don't even want you to go to patreon.com/awesomepodcast. You can go there if you want, $1 a month, $12 a year, bro. Hashtag, like we say on Too Cool for Tabletop. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. It helps cover some costs and whatnot, but I'm fine. I'm fine with absorbing those costs because I enjoy doing this show. But if you have the spare coin, I'm not going to mention the fact that you can go to Awesome podcasts, Everything is Awesome podcast, Patreon page, patreon.com/awesome podcast. Here's what I really would like you to do. This is the best way, the absolute best way you can help this show out. Leave a 5-star text review and rating on iTunes. Even if you don't listen to us on iTunes. That helps us so much. iTunes is the biggest podcast platform. And if you can get us, if you can help get us to a point where we're seen in front of more people's ears can give us a listen, then we can get a bigger audience, and hopefully we can get a little coin sent our way, if you know what I mean, to help basically cover our operating costs so that we can use that money instead to do cool things like we're doing it's absolutely free for nothing, free funny, Everything is Awesome event, the very first Everything is Awesome Podiversary show. That we were very lucky enough to get a bunch of sponsors to help contribute so that we didn't have to really pay much out of pocket. And I'm going to have a big announcement about that next week's episode. Next week we talked to Chris Revel from the Let's Chat with Revel and Friends podcast, part of the Core Temp Arts Network, podcast network. Tell a friend. Tell a friend's another great way. But mainly, leave a review. Leave a 5-star review and text review on iTunes. That'd be a huge help. You know what? That's all I got for you this week. Again, thanks for tuning in to Everything is Awesome. Make sure you check us out on Twitter at RealAwesomePod. You can find me on Twitter at ThatNerdyKev. You can find us on patreon.com/awesomepodcast. You can find us on Instagram at Awesome Podcast, or me on Instagram at ThatNerdyKev. And until next time, you've been listening to Everything is Awesome right here on awesomepodcast.com. We've been awesome.
Everything is Awesome is part of Courts and Parts, a podcast network featuring pop culture, TV, movie, and geek podcasts. Check out some of our other shows, like TV Ate My Brain, Let's Chat with Revel and Friends, and Podstalgic at courtsandparts.com.